Welcome to Motorcycle News and welcome to lovely and stunning Portugal. We're being invited here by Triumph to ride their new Street Twin and their new Street Scrambler, which I'll come on to in a minute. So let's start off with the Street Twin. In the UK, we arrive in end of January 2019. It's a 2019 model. Price on the road is 8100 for the base colour. So what have they done for 2019? The engine capacity remains the same, but power is up 18%, which is a big hike. So we're up to just shy of 65 horsepower from 54. Torque remains the same, as in peak torque. However, the torque curve is much greater. There's much more larger torque throughout the rev range. Up front we have Brembo calipers, which replaced the standard calipers before to give more stopping power. The forks have been upgraded. We've got a few cosmetic tweaks. For example, the clocks have changed. This is now brushed aluminium. And safety-wise, we now have two rider modes, which is both rain and road mode. They change the engine characteristics and they change the traction control intervention. There's still an A2 licensed bike available from dealers, and there's 140 accessories, which makes the little Street Twin a perfect kind of base, a black canvas to just play with and enjoy and do what you want. Now the old bike I rode quite a lot, that was launched 2016, and because it only had 54 horsepower quota, it did feel a little bit wheezy. It did felt like you was on an entry-level bike all the time and you was making allowances for that. But now with that 18% increase in power, it's a bit more lively, it's a bit more alive, it's a bit more punch, it's got a bit more power. It makes it feel like a more grown-up bike. Still an excellent bike in terms of handling. It's easy to ride, the seat is exceptionally low. The seat's gone up 10 mil for 2019. Just extra padding really, and extra comfort and a redesigned seat. But it's still really short bike, so don't be intimidated for new riders. All in all, the Street Twin is Triumph's best-selling retro bike in their retro range, and I believe it will go on to do so in 2019. At 8.1, it's affordable, it's still easy to ride, it's still very entry level, it's a perfect black canvas for just customizing and doing what you want. But now with that extra poke, it's a little bit more fun. But let's move over to the Scrambler. So the Scrambler is essentially based on the Street Twin. They both share the same engine, they both share the same power, they both have the Brembo brakes. The Scrambler has slightly different torque characteristics. The maximum torque is 3,200, which is slightly lower peak torque than the Street Twin. Obviously it's got Scrambler styling. This dates back to the bike that McQueen rode and Evel Knievel jumped Caesar Palace on. It's a really good looking bike. Slightly more expensive, 9.3 on the road for the base colour and a little bit more for the different colour options. Personally, I prefer the Scrambler over the Street Twin. I prefer the off-road looks, I prefer the off-road stance, I prefer the ability to go off-road should I want to. I can go for a little dusty track down here. We've got a 19-inch front wheel rather than an 18-inch front wheel on the Street Twin. Interestingly, there's an off-road mode on the Scrambler. As soon as you flick it into the off-road mode, which you have to do when stationary, it disables the ABS and it disables the traction control, which means you can have a bit of sideways fun and have a bit of a play. To summarise, the Scrambler is, again, it's done what the Street Twin's done. It's got more excitement, it's got more fun. I really like the styling. I like the fact you can ride along and look for dusty trails and just really enjoy the bike. And yes, the larger front wheel slows down the steering a little, but all in all, I would go for the Scrambler over the Street Twin. But that's enough for me. Time for me to go in there. I'll catch up with you guys later.